What's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest episode of our phenomenal wrestling podcast as we go through the shenanigans that took place during this week on wrestling in WWE with Raw, Smackdown, NXT, and 205 Live. Per usual, we kick off the show with Monday Night Raw. Once again, it's Synyster here along with Zel and Nell.
Yes, it was a rather interesting week in the land known as WWE. Yes.
And actually, Broken Zel was over at Smackdown this week.
Yes, it was a rather splendid time in the opportunistic land known as Smackdown Live. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Did you now? Did you?
Yes. But as we should start with the Raw of Monday night.
Well, once again, the show started out with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Kurt Angle, who was then interrupted by Stephanie McMahon, who claimed she had no hard feelings for Angle or Ronda Rousey, which I call bullshit, for WrestleMania, because she's the leader, and she's going to do what's best for business, which is very interesting after the segment last week with the big dog and himself. But after McMahon called out Angle for letting his emotions get the way of his handling of Reigns, out came the big dog himself to retort. McMahon referenced Reigns' Samoan temper and recent bad attitude, to which Reigns threatened he would use to take out the entire locker room if his recent issues weren't handled.
Yeah, right. And honestly, Eric, can you actually blame Reigns for wanting to go above and beyond for getting everything that's rightfully his?
Yes, I can.
You can blame him?
Yes, because it's not rightfully his. The hell? I am so damn proud he's not champion now.
I just don't want to see this feud that we're about to see.
I definitely don't want to see that, but I'd rather watch paint dry than watch these two in the ring together.
Oh, I thought you were a fan of Roman. My bad.
No. Like, there are many songs in the history of songs that define the hate of Roman Reigns that I have filled, boiling in my blood.
Yes, let the anger consume you, yes.
But then he was interrupted by Kevin Owens to mock Reigns until he annoyed Stephanie by putting his arm on her shoulder, which led to the booking of a singles match between them, which actually kicked off Monday Night Raw for the match-wise, which ended in disqualification after Reigns hit the spear on the floor late. Jinder suddenly appeared to force the DQ by attacking him from behind. Then Owens added the stomping until Seth Rollins ran into huge cheers because Seth Rollins is so over right now, it's not even funny. But that, as you could see, was building up to the match that was announced, which was a tag team match of Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns versus Jinder Mahal and Kevin Owens. Per usual, the classic tag team psychology between Reigns and Seth, it just worked to their advantage throughout the whole thing.
Chemistry?
Psychology, chemistry, whatever. But no, in all reality, you should have seen how this was going to come with them winning, which they did. Rollins actually missed a stomp before rebounding to hit Owens for a second time for a 1-2-3.
I actually thought that was rather clever.
Very. And then as Rollins and Reigns were walking back up the ramp to a loud ovation, Mahal came out of nowhere to attack with a chair. His extended assault on Reigns ended with Mahal raising his arms and screaming during the commercial break. Angle booked a match between the two at Money in the Bank. He also scheduled Rollins to defend his Intercontinental title against Mahal next week.
Ooh.
I am very concerned here. I am so concerned here that they are going to give this freaking Intercontinental title to Jinder Mahal now.
Yeah, I think so too. And fans are going to hate Jinder Mahal as Intercontinental Champion, so cue in Roman Reigns.
Again, Intercontinental Champion Roman Reigns.
Yep.
I don't even solidify him as being worthy of the Intercontinental Championship.
I'm sure that'll all change.
The thing is, what these people want is neither, man. They want Seth Rollins to retain the title, or even Finn Balor to win the title.
Honest, I don't want Finn to win this title. I want this title to stay around Seth's waist for a little while.
You want it to stay around his waist until September when Dean Ambrose comes back, and you want Dean to take it from him.
That is the perfect booking for that.
Or he just holds on to it forever!
Either that or come SummerSlam, he defends the title at SummerSlam, Q and Dean Ambrose, and a disqualification he retains by DQ, which leads to them feuding with a heel Dean Ambrose now. Dean needs to come back as a heel at this point. He was getting very stale.
Well, he shot himself.
He did shoot himself.
I honestly feel like he's been stale for a while now. Honestly.
Yeah, pretty much. But if you want to talk about stale, it was the next segment that came after all this.
Oh boy.
Which was the Bobby Lashley segment.
I
Stale is being too nice.
called this last week. I was like, this is going to beat out Alexa Bliss and Bayley.
Yeah, this was a shit show. It was like at this point they're just trying to find a needle in a haystack to find something to do with Bobby Lashley that he got lost in the shuffle after the draft.
Because they fucked it up.
They what?
That's what they did.
What
we
they
don't
did?
have ads on this video.
You need to prep for it, you numbnut. Fuck!
Yes. Magic!
Shut up, Broken Zel!
Yes.
I don't even want to get into the segment. That's how garbage it was.
I feel so bad for Sammy. Like, I hate Bobby Lashley. I still do.
Honestly, it got graded an F. That's how bad this was. Like,
Yeah.
Long story short.
Yes! Wonderful. Go on.
Excuse us for this interference.
Go to the corner.
My sound was off. I have no idea what that played. My sound was off.
Are you done?
Oh, jump for shit now. Your ass is gonna make a bunch of shit go on.
Anywho, now that's been dealt with. Next was the Money in the Bank title bout contract signing between Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey. I still don't know how I feel about this. I feel like it's still too soon to be giving Ronda a title shot.
Considering she's never had a singles match.
Exactly. This is her first singles match. First time fighting since Mania. Like, I feel like this is too soon.
Agreed.
Way too soon.
Much agreed.
They are jumping the gun.
Unless this is what they're using to fuel the Ronda Rousey-Natalia feud. Unless.
That's the only thing I could see. But it's still, I don't know. But they jawed at each other a little bit. She reached to shake Nia's hand, and that's okay because I'm going to take your title, Rousey said, while examining Jax's limb closely. And
Yeah.
your arm.
Yeah, Nia was like, there's no way you're going to put the armbar on me.
You also have to think about how Sister McMahon tried to stir the pot a lot.
Yeah, she did.
A lot.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Which then led into the next match after that segment, which was the oh-so beautiful Bay Ember Moon defeating Alexa Bliss.
Heartbroken. Right decision, but heartbroken.
Oh, very right decision. Hit the Eclipse on her. And as per usual, Mickie James provided a lot of distractions until her attempt to hit Moon with a shoe led to her ejection. I feel like they just need to do away with Mickie James as being like backup muscle for Alexa Bliss at this point.
They should separate them.
Because
Definitely.
at this, Alexa doesn't need this. She absolutely does not need Mickie. Old has been women's wrestler as her backup. Like, they literally need to put her... Well, they should have put her with Absolution after Paige retired. But now they're over on SmackDown.
As you just called her an old has-been.
Yeah, Mickey James. No, I'm talking about they should have had Alexa be like the new leader for them.
I'm still stuck on the Mickey James as a has-been.
Yes. She's only there now to eat pins. That is literally...
Just because she's booked that way doesn't make her a has-been. She's still great in the ring.
She is still great in the ring. Don't get me wrong. She's still phenomenal in that ring. But at the end of the day, she has started to botch things a little more as the older she gets. But even still, like, just retire. This is not the place for you anymore because they are not doing anything with people who deserve to have at least something done with them.
That's what a paycheck is.
Yeah, we'll ask Brock Lesnar about paychecks. After that was Baron Corbin, who defeated No Way Jose again. This is starting to kind of disappoint me more and more as time goes on. Is Jose is slowly being buried after being just called up. And it's kind of getting old. They need to start utilizing him because he's great. He's so over with the crowd, and I feel like it's gonna end up being like Breezango. How Breezango's been so over and they've done absolutely nothing. Or even Elias at this point, because I'm still worried nothing's gonna happen with Elias after this feud with Bobby Roode's over. Because speaking of Breezango, that was actually the next match with the B team, who the B team defeated them again.
2-0.
I still absolutely love how excited they get now by winning. It's like, to me, it's adorable. I find it so adorable for these two.
Aw, how cute.
Because they've literally gotten nothing throughout their careers, and here they are, except for Curtis Axel, who had an attempt, and that kind of plummeted.
Well, sorry, Sister Moon. I think he found a new bae.
Oh, shut up. Asshole. But no, it was once again a pretty good match because at the end of the day, all four of them guys are really good in-ring performers, and they don't get enough credit for what they deserve too, which is a very common issue with Monday Night Raw. With all the talent they have, they're just stuck on these few top guys. Next was Dolph Ziggler versus Chad Gable, with Dolph winning by pinfall. Angle booked the match after Ziggler and Drew McIntyre interrupted a backstage meeting involving Gable by saying, "What's your claim to fame again, kid?" Despite starting in progress after a commercial break later in the show, this one featured good work from both. Ziggler hit a super kick to produce the finish before McIntyre came in and laid Gable out with a Claymore kick.
Yeah.
Brutal. McIntyre's Claymore, that is probably the most brutal boot in WWE at this point. I don't know if anyone has a more brutal boot than him.
I can get behind that.
Next was another Money in the Bank qualifying match with Natalya defeating Sarah Logan, Liv Morgan, and Dana Brooke.
She still wrestles.
Apparently so. Everyone knew this was not coming with Dana Brooke winning. She was probably just a filler in that match, to be honest. After they all teamed up early, the pair of the Riot Squad members inevitably entered into a stare down in which they glanced at the briefcases above before giggling and continuing to work together. Despite attempts from Ruby Riot to interfere, Natalya used the discus clothesline and sharpshooter to get the tap from Logan. During the post-match interview, Natalya talked about how happy she was to have Rousey as a sparring partner. Then, in a move that likely teases a future heel turn, Natalya expressed excitement over becoming Miss Money in the Bank after Rousey becomes the new Raw Women's Champion.
Mm-hmm.
See, way I see this going is if they have the Women's Money in the Bank match prior to the Ronda Rousey Nia Jax match, if Natalya is going to cash in if she wins that title and make Nia Jax tap out. So it still makes Ronda Rousey look strong, but they're keeping her complete one singles undefeated streak going for a very long time, I feel.
I see more of. I don't see her winning the match. I think that she's going to lose the Money in the Bank, but she's going to get Ronda disqualified. That way, Nia retains, Ronda loses, and Ronda is pissed.
Possible. Do you possibly see even who do you think has the best shot right now on Raw to win the women's Money in the Bank? I'm really pulling for Ember, but I don't think they're gonna give it to her, unfortunately.
I don't see currently who else they may give it to Charlotte.
No, they're not, because Charlotte's going away, remember? For surgery.
She's already gone for surgery.
No, they're still putting it off because she's going to be out until after SummerSlam after this. Well, right before SummerSlam, she'll come back.
Because I've already seen reports that Charlotte's a favorite.
I don't see that happening.
I would not be surprised. Would not.
We'll have to wait and see then, I guess. But next was Elias versus Bobby Roode.
I guess we don't want Brother Arcadia's opinion.
Oh, it's all good.
Mm.
I kind of agree the same thing. I think it's Ember Moon for Raw, anyways. I don't see anyone else.
All right. Well, once again, Elias defeating Bobby Roode via pinfall. Despite 2 segments and an attack from Elias before the bell, there wasn't much to talk about after this match. And already decent enough feud that they have going on. Roode favored his left leg after tweaking it on a leap from the top rope. Elias then hit his drift away for a 1-2-3. And then his celebration on the stage afterwards was interrupted by a running shoulder tackle from Braun Strowman
Yeah.
as he passed by, because that led to the Braun Strowman versus Finn Balor match, which after this really makes me push harder that Balor's gonna win Money in the Bank, because he lost to Braun Strowman as predicted. Stephanie booked a singles match despite a backstage plea from both participants from a rematch against Ziggler and McIntyre. The match was almost exclusively a Strowman squash, as usual, of a dead crowd, because the crowd was absolutely shit until a rally by Balor spiced things up. But despite a Pele kick, double stomp from an apron, and a coup de grace from the outside barricade by Balor, Strowman was able to beat the 10 count. And then he went on to hit a pair of running power slams to produce the pin. And an otherwise meaningless match designed to produce ratings between two top stars despite acting like a heel at times. Strowman cemented his babyface status after the match by propping Balor up in the corner before raising his arms to celebrate. I like how I think I slowly see this going to be a heel turn for Balor then, after him getting decimated and taking the pin last week.
Well, they've been teasing the turn for a long time now.
Oh, they without a doubt they have. So I think it's going to be coming very, very, very soon at this point. I don't know how much longer they're going to put it off, though. That is the only deciding factor, is how long can they keep this going. But that was it for Raw. Honestly,
It was a pretty shit Raw.
Yeah, I give this one a D+ at very best.
Solid D. Solid D.
Like Raw has absolutely no direction whatsoever. They look lost with what they want to do and what they're gonna do going forward. Because I fully predict Finn Balor winning Money in the Bank and cashing in over on SmackDown. That's what I'm thinking going forward.
Well, we still need a little bit more clarification of the rules, because they said they take it back to their brand.
See, I think Paige screwed that up. That's because it has never been that case unless they were the two Money in the Banks, like from back in the day. Each brand had their own Money in the Bank.
Exactly.
So that you can't do that unless you're having multiple Money in the Banks. you should be able to cash in on whatever champion you want. And even back in the day, you could even cash in on any champion.
Yeah, back in the day, but now they're saying they take it to their brand, so there's no clarification if they're changing that ruling or not.
I don't think they are. I think that was just a screw up by Paige. But then again, they haven't said anything about it either going forward since then. So I have no idea. We are literally just going to have to wait and find out. Because somebody over here has a major hard-on for a Samoan Shield group of the Usos and Roman Reigns, which there is now an article circulating of that being a possibility.
I saw that, yeah, Roman was pushing for that, yeah.
Yeah, so, that's slightly, concerning, because if that does happen, I'm worried for all the wet dreams this guy, Nell, is going to be having over that.
It's not anything to do with that. It's to save people's careers. Roman could go over with this. The Usos could go even higher than where they are right now.
They could,
like,
but
it works for everyone. And with them going over to Raw, and with my prediction of Finn going over to SmackDown, separates the two stables, which is the Balor Club forming over there, and this new Samoan, whatever they're gonna call it, forming over here.
The Samoan Shield, yeah.
I don't think that's what they're gonna call it, because I think that's just like dumb.
it is dumb. But personally, if they do come over, you want them to become a heel faction. That's not happening due to Roman Reigns said he's not going to go heel. He'll only go heel for one superstar and one superstar only.
Brother Brian.
Brother Brian.
Right.
Daniel Bryan.
Who makes the show? Roman Reigns or Vince McMahon?
Roman Reigns.
No.
At
Vince
this
McMahon.
point.
Oh my lord.
Vince McMahon makes the show. You're just a hater of Roman Reigns, but I'm sure you'll get that solved in a matter of time.
Nope.
But with everything going on, I truly believe that if they put these two guys, the three guys, the Usos and Roman together, it'll help out their career, like I said. Finn Balor going over to SmackDown would be great, too. But I don't know. Like, now with the Money in the Bank being where it's at, and AJ taking on Shinsuke in a last man, like, I don't know who's going to win the Money in the Bank, only because it screams for, like, a heel to win Money in the Bank, because someone's just going to go into that last man standing match and just pick up the pieces, just going to pin someone, you know?
See, that's where I think otherwise, because even if, say, Finn Balor does win, I don't think he's cashing in at this Money in the Bank. I think he would cash in at SummerSlam, if anything.
It would make no sense for the Money in the Bank winner, should that not be the main event. Should AJ and Shinsuke be the main event, it would make no sense for that Money in the Bank winner to not cash in on a match known as Last Man Standing. And I fully expect WWE to run away and say, oh, AJ didn't win and Shinsuke didn't win. I fully expect like a double 10 count out, only to have some theme song hit, Money in the Bank cashes in 1, 2, 3 on AJ.
See, we all know what's going to be the main event of that pay-per-view.
I would rather have
I'm going to hit
SummerSlam.
you.
Who, me or him?
You.
Why me?
Because I know what you're going to say. And I'm going to
Roman
hit you.
versus Jinder.
I'd rather have for SummerSlam be Finn, AJ, and Shinsuke versus AJ and Finn or Shinsuke and Finn. I'd rather have those three guys go at it than...
Or AJ, Finn, Shinsuke, and Joe.
It's possible. But, I mean, if Joe doesn't win Money in the Bank and it gets cashed in on SmackDown, I think he's going to be going after Jeff Hardy. That's just
Possible.
the way I see it.
Speaking of the opportunistic land known as SmackDown Live, I was there this week, so I did not get to see the televised product. I've yet to watch it because I seen it live, so I figured, why? Why waste my time? Also, before we get there, do you agree with the D rating of Monday Night Raw?
I say C+,
Wow.
only because
You're too generous.
Elias won over clean. We've had Stephanie return. We had surprises, like I said, Elias winning, Natty, Natalia winning. Like, it wasn't that boring. I mean, the main event shouldn't have been the main event, and Sammy and Bobby shouldn't have even existed. But the start of the show was pretty good, especially with the tag team of Roman and Seth versus Kevin and Jinder. But yeah, I give it a C+.
Wow.
It wasn't that bad.
I didn't expect that. I thought it was a pretty trash Raw. Now then, that's over with. the opportunistic land known as Smackdown Live opened up with the segment of Miz TV and the New Day revealing who they're going to have in the Money in the Bank ladder match.
And that is...
We don't know. The Miz asked who, to which everyone in the crowd chanted, who? 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 And then he changed his wording to say which. To which everyone said, which? Which? It was a rather funny time. Though the New Day would not give him an answer. The New Day basically turned it around to say that the Miz has everything and they have each other. The Miz then says, and breaks down the individual accomplishments about how Kofi has won so many titles but has not won the big one. About how he's been in so many Money in the Bank ladder matches but hasn't won. He's just a, what's the word I'm looking for? A highlight monkey. He talks about how Brother E has great stature and was NXT champion and has been Intercontinental champion but hasn't done anything. And talks about how Brother Xavier has his channel Up, Up, Down, Down, which you should all subscribe to.
Keep it tight.
And it would be such an amazing feeling for him to walk onto that channel with the WWE Championship around his waist. It also goes into saying that The Miz could beat any member of the New Day any day of the week, which leads to a match between The Miz and Big E. Excuse me while I burp.
I guess better burp than farting.
I mean, I could fart if you want me to.
I'd rather not, sir.
Just say the word. Right in the mouth.
The word.
Don't.
Yes. Now, the match was actually a very good match. It continues to show that The Miz is one of the best performers on SmackDown in the WWE entirely. He's improved so much over the years, and I'm rather proud. Because back when I knew The Miz in my past life, he was actually known as George Washington Carver. And he invented peanut butter. We were rather close. I'm so proud of what he's done with his life.
Did he now?
Yes.
He invented peanut butter.
Yes.
Do you have any factual information, documentation to back this up?
Google George Washington Carver.
Boy.
You'll see the Miz's face right now.
Well, obviously you don't look as your previous life. It's the soul that travels.
Excuse you? Keanu Reeves.
What about Brother Reeves?
He's immortal.
What about Brother Keanu?
Yeah, he hasn't died yet. His soul has yet to travel.
Yeah, damn, he did create peanut butter.
As I said. Did you think I was lying? Did you not believe me?
What's the problem with that?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Hold on.
What's the
Keanu
problem
Reeves.
with a black man making peanut butter?
Are you upset that it was a black man to invent something? This is 2018, sir.
Oh, I'm completely okay with that. I'd rather have them than the crackers.
That being said,
Nani?
The Miz and Big E had put on a great match. It came down to the Bar running down to the ring to continue their feud with the New Day. Kofi hit this wonderfully looking spot where he ran up the stairs and jumped off of Cesaro's shoulder and came down on Sheamus. The distraction became too much. Big E got pinned with the skull-crushing finale. And later on in the show, it was announced that next week we will have a 6-man tag between the New Day and the Bar and the Miz. This then led to the next segment here. The announcers talked about, Brother Brian and Brother Hardy because they will be facing each other, with the winner facing Samoa Joe next week to enter the Money in the Bank. Are you still talking about Brother Reeves?
Yes! Look at this!
That's incredible.
He has not aged.
And?
He's lived forever.
He is immortal.
He will die eventually. One day everybody's got to die.
No, he is a vampire.
One could say that Brother Reeves is immortal.
Trust me, in one of our previous lives, I have met his soul before he was known as Brother Reeves. He will die, eventually.
In what life was this one? And who was he?
Ah, yes. He was actually Thomas Jefferson.
Any relation to Bill Compton, perchance? Ow! Son of a bitch.
I'll not deal with these stupid questions. Now.
Sucker!
Oh my god, I'm not going back. As we were on Smackdown Live, we then had our Money in the Bank qualifier match for the women between Billie Kay and Lana. I really don't have many words for this. Aiden English introduced Lana as he would introduce Rusev, but had the entire crowd singing, "Lana is the best, Lana number one."
Yep. So good. So good.
This man got Rusev over, he's going to get Lana over, even though she is daft in the ring.
It's
Daft.
Okay. It's okay.
The iconic duo came out, and they cut their own little promo saying they were going to sing a duet to horrendous boos. I was pretty sure that I'm the only one that was in the audience who was applauding.
I wonder why.
Because I'm in love with Peyton Royce.
Yes.
Because thank God for plastic surgery.
Oh my god. I showed him, there was a thing on her Instagram, she posted a picture, and somebody said, "Thank God for a plastic surgeon." And she said, "No, just thank God for my makeup artist."
Oh, that's good that she responded.
Yeah.
I like that.
She has a good sense of humor. She's not as much of a whiny little child that she plays on
Well,
TV.
she's not from the United States, so that's why.
Yes. This was a very quick match because Aiden English brought up a sign that said Lana Day. Royce got distracted with it. Billie Kay got distracted with it. Lana hit the kick. She hit her weird little sit-out facebuster. 1, 2, 3. Lana qualifies for the Money in the Bank ladder match. We knew whoever won this match, it was going to be odd. But it's just odd.
Lana could win. And that's scary.
Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank.
Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank. But Lana could win, but just be like a placeholder. Like eventually she'll do something stupid where she'll accept someone's challenge to put her Money in the Bank up for grabs. So
The Mr. Kennedy from back in the day.
Kennedy dropped it because doctors told him that he needed to get surgery. In the long run, it wasn't surgery. It was that he was perfectly fine. He was ready to go to work the very next day. So he lost his Money in the Bank to Edge because of a doctor who told him false information.
And then the ultimate opportunist cashed in on The Undertaker
Yeah.
on a recorded SmackDown Live. So everybody knew before the SmackDown even aired.
Yeah.
Speaking of that,
Can't wait until a year.
We will get there. I know where you were going. We will get there.
oh, I cannot.
So next, we got a promo between Zelina Vega and Andrade Cien Almas. Zelina saying that they hope they have better competition this week because last week was abysmal in the competition level.
Well,
So we then got Andrade Cien Almas versus some guy with no chance. He got squashed, but in a very interesting way. It wasn't a regular squash match. He actually got some offense to the point that Andrade looked rather pissed.
Yeah.
And then Andrade killed him with the double knees to the front of the face and the back of the face. And the hammerlock DDT, 1, 2, 3, they win again.
Where does he go from here? Is he gonna feud with Hardy?
I feel like they're going to keep giving him jobbers
Until some threat comes up?
until they just decide to throw him like a Ty Dillinger, if you will. And he's going to have a competitive match with Ty Dillinger because they used to have great matches. And 1, 2, 3, Andrade's going to win.
Maybe Andrade wrestles Daniel Bryan soon? I don't know.
Down the line, maybe. Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with him. And it pisses me off that every time a guy from NXT gets called up, he has to start all over again. The only person that was exception to that rule
Finn Balor.
was Finn.
Yeah.
And then he got hurt.
I think ever since that, Vince was like, I don't trust your trips.
Yeah. Such bullshit.
Needless to say,
and he's not over.
I don't think he is.
the next segment, the women's champion Carmella was interviewed backstage saying that she is not afraid of Asuka. She's beaten Charlotte Flair twice, so she is twice as good as Asuka, and at Money in the Bank she's going to moonwalk all over Asuka and prove once again that Mella is money.
What the hell?
I am enjoying her promo work more and more. It highly appeals to her character of being this annoying little Staten Island brat.
As of right now, who do you have for Carmella and Asuka?
Is it sad that I must say Carmella?
How? I just don't get it.
She's somehow going to win, and it upsets me. It does, but It's going to happen. It's like sex with Kobe Bryant. You can kick and scream all you want, but it's going to happen.
Ah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Have you never heard it before?
You say it all the damn time.
Yeah, have you never heard it?
No,
It's from
no,
Family Guy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the Family Guy person. I'll use Squidward.
I love Family Guy. I just missed that episode apparently.
Wow. You are not a true fan.
I am a true fan.
It now got to the point where they announced the Money in the Bank stipulation between the match for Brother Styles and Brother Nakamura. At first, Brother Nakamura said, after quickly dismissing Renee Young from the ring, it was going to be a pillow fight. Brother Styles found a little bit of humor in this, but then quickly got serious again.
I chuckled a lot.
I was sitting in the audience like, really? Really? This is what we're doing? But alas, we got on with the program. After a while, the fight just broke out. After Shinsuke got in AJ's face, the fight broke out. It broke out into the crowd, which it was kind of right next to me. Honestly. The side that they were going up, I was on the exact other end of that rampway. It's pretty cool.
I saw the pictures.
Yeah.
When you were like,
Yes. Rather good. $90.
damn. That's awesome. Yeah, really good. I love the seats that go like that because you can actually have like a full, clear shot of the whole thing. That was awesome.
Yes, I watched a couple clips on the YouTube channel, and I noticed we're sitting like kind of right above where the regular hard cam cuts off.
Mm-hmm.
So on occasion, I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. I'm gonna be like, oh, there I am. There I am. It's me. Oh my god, it's me. Yes. But the fight broke out. Brother Styles went to jump back over the barricade for a phenomenal forearm and got hit with a chair. Brother Shinsuke started counting. AJ got up and got hit with the Kinshasa, and Brother Shinsuke counted to 10. And he grabbed a microphone and he said, "Last man standing." And yes, he did his pose and his music hit. So it is going to be a last man standing match. I am surprised that it is a last man standing, considering they both hit a 10 count.
I am not.
They both hit a 10 count last match. I did not think they would go that route.
Nope, I am not because of the briefcase. That's why they're doing it.
Ah, yes, the briefcase.
They're going to beat the shit out of each other. None of them are going to get up, and then someone, I don't know who yet, but someone's going to come in, cash that in. 1, 2, 3.
We also got the announcement that next we'll have a number 1 contenders match for the tag team titles. Seeing as how we haven't had anything about the tag team titles for a long time now.
Where the hell are they?
Don't know. Probably off bludgeoning something.
Like Brock Lesnar Jr.'s.
Dumb. I'm sorry, let me do it right. Damn!
There you go.
No, they both cut promos. Basically, the club saying that they're the new kids on the block, and the Usos saying that if they want it, they have to earn it.
Mm-hmm.
And they did. The club win, and they are now the number 1 contenders for the tag team titles. And I'm rather excited for this, though I feel the Bludgeon Brothers are going to go over.
Yeah. But who knows? Maybe the club do win by some weird... I don't know. I don't know anymore.
It would be the kind of thing where it's like, the club wins, AJ loses the title.
Yeah.
The club loses, AJ retains.
Yeah.
They won't be the champs at the same time. They won't let it happen.
Or maybe the club wins, Finn wins.
Ever since the Evolution days, we have not seen an entire faction hold all the championships.
There's one faction. But they're missing one key title.
Yeah, so therefore...
But that's because someone has an injury on their knee.
Anyway. Yes, the club won. It was a quick match, but it was a good match. We then had Sister Naomi versus Sister Sonya for the Money in the Bank qualifier, which there was a man in the front row catcalling Mandy Rose the entire time, and it was rather annoying. He if you watch back, he had a red shirt on, and he kept posing whenever the camera was on him, doing muscle flexes and whatnot. He was a big guy. He was. But he kept saying something to Mandy, and Mandy kept being like, "Shut up!" Like, at first she would just yell at the kids to get heel heat, but I noticed specifically she kept yelling at him.
She probably got annoyed.
Probably. I don't blame her. I would have kicked him in the face. But the match went on. It started off...
Oh, sorry. Did you hear that guy when the Iconics came out? And they're like, "Oh my god, Aiden English. Like, that was so beautiful." And then when they stopped talking, you heard a guy saying, "I can't understand them."
Yes. Yes, I did.
Oh, I have a clip of that. It was so freaking funny.
It was rather funny. I chuckled. I was a little bit insulted by a chuckle.
He was like, I can't understand them.
As I posted on the page, I took a lot of pictures. I took one video. Peyton Royce did not even focus
I'm
on Billy
surprised
King.
he didn't take a video of AJ.
I was too. I got a video of Peyton Royce. Excuse me, I need to go change my pants. Yes, where were we? So the match between Naomi and Sonya Deville actually started out rather interesting, with a bunch of dodges for kicks, punches, strikes, roll-ups, and then it slowed down a lot and got kind of boring. Sorry to say. But Naomi won, which I'm also surprised one of the Absolution members is not in the Money in the Bank as well. So for SmackDown's Money in the Bank women, we have Charlotte, Naomi, Becky Lynch, and Lana. One of these things is not like the other.
Charlotte.
One of these things just doesn't belong here.
Charlotte. Let's focus on her injury.
So, now we're going to get to the main event, where Samoa Joe was on commentary. Brother Hardy and Brother Bryan put on a splendid match. Splendid match. It was very good back and forth. Now, the ending, as I was sitting there, I leaned over to my friend and I said, I want Daniel Bryan to win this match, but I would really love to see a Swanton Bomb in person. And I almost did. I saw Jeff Hardy break his back on Daniel Bryan's knees. It looked so much worse in person than on TV. So much worse. It was off. I cringed a lot.
I cringed when Daniel Bryan locked in that knee thing.
Oh, when he first did the Dragon Whip. And then
my
locked in
God.
the heel hook, as
The
they call it.
first time, yeah, holy crap.
It looks like that's going to be one of his new finishes, because he is a submission specialist.
Yeah, that definitely.
But,
I think he's going to retire the yes lock.
he might. That heel... He looked very vicious at the end of that match.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if they're going to try to do a heel thing with him, or at least a tweener.
I can see Tweener. I think he's just way too over to even think about turning him heel for right now.
Well, he would still be cheered regardless.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem.
Only way he would get booed is if he kicked AJ Styles in the balls.
There was a lot of backlash from fans tweeting and stuff like that when he did that to Jeff Hardy. Like, fans were not happy.
Really?
That's how it was booked, yeah. They were pissed off because he did that move to Jeff Hardy.
And he tapped out?
And he tapped out, yeah.
He said earlier on in the show he was going to tap out a legend. He kind of had to. It's booking. I get it. It's booking. It made sense. He's a submission guy.
Probably the
He's gonna
same
tap him
idiots that say, Roman sucks. He has no talent.
I agree that Roman does have talent. I've always told you I blame the booking.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
It's all the booking.
Me
I
too.
don't hate Roman, but I am sick of how they're booking Roman.
Back in the day, when we had a Rocky...
Maivia,
the worst thing ever. What did it do with him? We'll turn him heel. Boom. Biggest star in the industry.
People are starting to hate John Cena. Should we turn him heel? Yet. You keep him a face.
Yeah, now it's a different era. Like, because John Cena came in and he made a name for himself as a heel, and then he turned when the fans were behind him to be a face. Now it's this thing of you sell shirts, you got to do what you're doing. Like, you sell too many shirts, I'm gonna keep you as stale as possible.
Yes, but in the end, Samoa Joe grabbed the microphone, and he said he doesn't know why Daniel Bryan is celebrating because next week he has to face Samoa Joe. And at this point, it is just a formality because Samoa Joe is going to win. Samoa Joe then got interviewed backstage as he went through the curtain. And he said, I'm going to put Daniel Bryan to sleep. Yes. Yes. Yes.
And he will.
And the show
I don't think he will.
I don't think he's going to put him to sleep. I think, like I said, when I was talking to you guys before, I think Big Cass is going to cost him the match, Dan Bryan's match.
Well,
I think Joe's going to win with like a muscle buster or something.
I also just saw a report that Cass might actually be injured.
Yeah, he was limping backstage, apparently, from what I read too, but they don't know if he's actually injured or if he's just selling his knee.
They're not sure, but they're saying there is a high chance because they did not... Because the last time they did the spot... Because they did the spot a few times on the house circuit. But the last time they did the spot was in the middle of the house circuit, and he was limping worse than usual.
Right, but this is also, I feel, just to say he has an injury, so that way he's not on TV. Because this is his punishment right now for what he did to that competitor.
Because the report said 6 weeks.
Right.
If it is an actual injury.
Right.
But
I feel like it's Vince punishing Big Cass for what he did to the impersonator.
yes. I thought that this was a rather good SmackDown. I would give it a B+. The only thing that confused me so much was the Lana and Billie Kay match.
I think that was the most over thing ever.
Everyone
was singing.
I didn't say it wasn't over. I said confused.
That's like having Dana Brooke qualify.
Leave her alone.
That is entirely different than having Dana Brooke qualify. Lana is married to Rusev. She is automatically over.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm talking about in the ring wise. Dana Brooke is known as being like the bottom of the totem pole.
Yes.
But she's not that bad in the ring.
No, she's not.
She's just booked terribly.
Yes.
I think she needs to go
Lana,
back
who is bad.
Honestly, what I really want them to start incorporating is call downs back to NXT. Because I feel like if they start doing that, so many more superstars are going to become relevant again.
You know, actually, the Revival on a house show in NXT, they came down for a surprise appearance.
Yeah.
And Sister Banks tweeted, "Take me with you next time."
Wow. After they're working on a new deal with
Well,
her.
she signed the new deal.
Oh, okay.
Also, speaking of new deals, which we can talk about right here, Sister Toni Storm has signed with the WWE, but her contract is a UK contract.
That's okay.
So she can work like the Pete Dunne schedule, where she'll show up whenever they ask her to, but she can still wrestle elsewhere, which is fine, because she's only 22.
She is, being only 22.
And that good.
Holy crap, yeah. That good. Like, she's amazing in the ring.
So since she's on a UK contract, does that count as a NXT Bay, or?
I don't know.
We have to wait to find out. Because if she shows up on NXT...
But that's the thing. Think about Pete Dunne. He showed up on NXT. He's showing up on Monday Night Raw.
205.
Well, he showed up just to challenge Enzo for the one-time thing because
They were
everyone
in
was so
London.
sick of Enzo. And they're like, you know what? You're going to get your ass kicked.
And then the next night, they booked Enzo to beat Tyler Bate, who is not in the UK tournament.
And rightfully so, unfortunately, because he, like Dean Ambrose, shot himself in the foot.
Yeah, he did. Rather bad. Rather bad.
Now, also talking about new deals. So it's been officially leaked that October 2019, SmackDown Live will no longer be live with the switch to Fox Sports.
They're
So
switching
they're
to
gonna
Fox
call-
Sports, but they did not determine what they're going to do about it.
Are they going to call it 205?
See, that's the thing. It's probably still going to be taped on Tuesdays. 205 Live is on live television, and it's aired
it's
on the network.
Yeah.
So 205 Live will still be 205 Live, I believe.
Right.
But
As for SmackDown, they don't know if they're going to move the show or if they're going to do what they used to do and just air on Friday. Because Friday is the official date.
You know, if you want people to subscribe to your freaking network, why not move SmackDown to the
That
network?
was also a possibility of them moving SmackDown to the network.
Like, you want Raw to be the staple show, the TV show, because it brings you so much freaking ratings? Fine.
But then, it was $1 billion. That's how much
I
that
don't know.
contract
And
was.
the cool thing about this, too, it's a very exciting time because Fox is very different from USA. USA wants to keep this stupid thing PG and all that stuff. Who knows what Fox wants to do? Maybe Fox will give that TV 14 back to SmackDown, you know? It's exciting, but at the same time, it's super scary, too, because Friday night.
see, it's not a USA thing either, though. It was the big thing was a Linda McMahon thing.
This is true. This
Right,
is also
but USA didn't help either. USA demanded
true. Yes,
them to be PG
USA
as well.
was also the problem.
It was, but it was the main problem was the Linda McMahon thing
Yeah.
because she's got her hands in the political parties.
Right, and I get it, but like if you watch NXT, they're allowed to do a lot more than SmackDown is allowed to do and Raw's allowed to do, and they're PG, but they're not
Yes.
they're not afraid to go a little bit above and beyond.
Because on the network, that's where they can say, these views don't reflect
Correct.
so and such.
Correct.
But yeah, that's the thing. We don't know exactly what they're going to be doing with SmackDown Live.
But that's the thing. If it's going to Friday nights, which is confirmed,
That is confirmed. We
But-
don't know if they're going to tape or they're going to move.
I
just hope-
feel
I
like it's
just
going to be taped because 205 airs after SmackDown every week. At that point, they're going to be airing SmackDown 205 separate unless they cut out 205.
Or they move 205 as well.
Yeah, I just hope that when they get there, that the brand split is still the brand split. Because if they don't do this brand split, they need to get Brock Lesnar the hell away from there, because he's unbeatable.
I don't know.
Roman has been beaten. Every wrestler has been beaten.
I don't know.
Brock Lesnar can't be beaten.
The Seth Rollins that we are seeing today.
Oh my God.
Not happening.
It's not gonna
No,
happen.
listen. The Seth Rollins that we are seeing today. I was reading an article the other day about it, and it makes a lot of sense with what he said in the article. That the Seth Rollins now, from where he was 2-3 years ago, where he was champion and all that, is a better Seth Rollins than he was then, by just how he's in the ring, making Mojo Rawley look so good. Like, he is the performer now.
I disagree.
You really think Roman's better than him?
No, AJ Styles is.
No, I don't think so.
I 100% believe that.
Don't get me wrong, I love AJ. But in-ring performer, now,
AJ Styles.
in the WWE, is
AJ
Seth
Styles.
Rollins.
Without
Seth
a
Rollins.
question.
I still
AJ
agree with
Styles.
AJ Styles.
It's Seth Rollins.
Outside of AJ Styles, outside of WWE, it's probably a toss-up between Kenny and maybe, like, if CM Punk ever comes back to wrestling in the indie scene again.
All
Those two.
in. Can you say new Bullet Club member?
Not gonna happen either. Unless it, like that, I'm hoping he loses his USC fight, so that he can come back to where he belongs.
It's almost time for that fight.
Yeah.
Isn't it the night before Money in the Bank?
don't know.
He's not losing that UFC fight, I don't think.
I think he is.
He's in his hometown.
Doesn't matter.
It's not scripted.
Yeah.
All MMA, all
And
boxing, that's all fixed.
okay. And the cool thing about that is, did you know that Vince is not cutting out any rosters until June 4th? Because
He doesn't want anyone to be able
Right.
to perform it all in.
right, and after they've been cut, they have a 90-day
No
can't
compete. Yep.
Exactly, and that will be the day after All In. That man.
Salty bitch.
Oh, by the way, I watched the main event, and who was on main event? The Authors of Pain.
Main event's still a thing.
Yeah,
Is it
it's
on
on
the
it's
network?
on Hulu. It's on the network too, but Hulu
What?
does it the next day.
What?
Yeah, Hulu has something special for tonight because I was seeing it and it looked like I forget who it was, but it was I saw Ty Dillinger and I saw someone else. But it's like why is that main event?
I didn't even know it was
Did
still
they
around.
do a main event match for you guys? The match before that was the Carmella versus Becky, right?
Yes,
No.
it opened with Carmella versus Becky before
Did they do the whole
thing
main
started.
event thing? Because we had that when we went to SmackDown. They did a main event match. It was Kurt Hawkins versus I forget who. Ty Dillinger.
What, they have like the main event like stuff up?
At 7:30, the main like 7:35 ish main event started. It lasted about 10 minutes, and then they redid the ring for SmackDown and all that stuff.
I got in like at the end of the match
Oh, okay.
because I was up buying stuff.
Okay.
So I heard the entire match. I heard the ding ding ding. I heard the Carmella music. I just know Becky lost.
Yeah.
Now, on to more things from that night. 205 Live. We're going to talk about the show, and then I'm going to have to address a couple things from that show. It did start off with Brother Gulak versus Grand Metalik with the Lucha House Party. And I was telling you this earlier. Those, whatever those things are that they have, it's annoying.
The noisemakers.
Yeah, it's annoying. It is very annoying. And even if the crowd wanted to lucha, they couldn't because it was a Grand Metalik song and it's way too fast.
Yep.
It was a decent match, Metalik doing his basic Metalik stuff, but Brother Gulak did win with the Dragon Sleeper, which is a very vicious move. He makes that move look.
It was a really good match, in my opinion. Very,
Was.
very well done. I thought it was kind of boring towards the beginning and the whole sound. I just don't like it's just my preference. I don't like the Lucha people. Whatever they want to call themselves, I just prefer them being their own unique self. Because if you're not going to bring in the stupid tag titles to 205 Live,
Yeah, we
Just
kind of
stop.
forgot about those tag titles.
just stop already.
After that, we had TJP face somebody.
Christopher Guy.
Christopher Guy. What a guy.
What a guy.
It was also shown before the match that TJP said, he tweeted saying, "Hey Paige, do you have any room on SmackDown? I'm usually free on Tuesday nights." Hashtag, how did he word it in the hashtag? Now I can't remember.
Who is this, TJP?
Yeah. It was a play on cruiserweight.
Yeah, because...
He said, "Cruiser great anywhere." Hashtag cruiser great anywhere.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Because after that match, he went on that...
Yeah, he went on the mic and said,
Yeah.
he would fit SmackDown Live, which...
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
He's being buried in 205 right now. I mean, he's not being buried, but his character is just nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Like, it's the first time we're seeing TJP in, 3 weeks?
He was on last week with the UK people. He was in the Fatal 4-Way.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
They showcase what he can do in the matches, but they don't do anything with it.
And, I mean, he did... Whatever he said, it wasn't a lie. He did carry 205 Live on his back. He was the Cruiserweight Classic champion, Cruiserweight champion, and then he brought it over to 205 Live, and he did carry it. I mean, that was a good show. And then we all know what happened. Neville, which was a good rivalry, and then that all went to shit.
And then we got our main event after a little promotion from Cedric Alexander for next week's Cruiserweight title match. Hideo Itami versus Akira Tozawa. And this match, the way they built it was very nice. It started off very slow, and then it picked up very fast with a lot of hard-hitting, a little bit of strong style. But in the end, Hideo got the better of Akira Tozawa, and Hideo won.
Yeah. He needed it, in my opinion. Akira doesn't seem the type of guy to, if he loses every single match, that he's gonna get mad.
Yeah.
Hideo, however, being formerly known as Kenta, you don't treat him right, he's just gonna go back and be that huge star that he was.
Oh, definitely.
If anything, he should be going to SmackDown, not TJP.
I felt so bad when they brought him up to 205 Live.
Yeah.
He deserves better.
205 Live shouldn't exist. That's just my opinion. It just shouldn't exist.
Now, what I'm going to say, the fans in attendance
Sucked.
when 205 Live started were awful, awful people. Terrible, godly terrible.
It that too, and when it first opened up to, you know how it's like, oh, here's the crowd getting excited.
Yeah.
I saw red seats.
They were still moving people to fill in the front of the hard camera. Hell, when Drew Gulak was coming out, the ring wasn't even fully set.
Yeah.
But the crowd was awful. There were chants for Enzo. There were chants for everything else other than the match. Mm-hmm. They gave no reaction and everything. And I don't get, if you're gonna be there, get involved, enjoy it, do something. Don't just sit there and not give any sort of reaction whatsoever and just be like, why are we here?
AKA Baltimore.
If you don't want to be there, leave. Leave.
I mean, you pay the money. I mean, if you're there and you're, whining. When we went to SmackDown, there was a guy in front of me who sat down the beginning, he was standing up the whole show. This guy was, 6'9". After he sat down through the whole thing. And I'm like, we have seats that are literally floor seats next to the ring. And you're sitting. And you're just like, yeah, whatever. I'm not going to lie, I did that, but I did that during 205 Live. I just sat down because no one was getting up, and I could have, I saw. And from what I was seeing, a lot of people was starting to leave. So there was a pathway that I could actually see wrestlers, and I saw the lucha people do that backflip over the rope and everything. It was really good. And then at the end, the dark match being Randy versus Shinsuke, that was really cool too. But if you're gonna pay money, why are you leaving? Yeah,
at least your dark match actually happened.
Yeah, yours was.
Yeah, mine. So after the attack from brother Shinsuke, Paige came out and she said that it will be a WWE Championship match between AJ and Shinsuke after the show. And brother Shinsuke came out. AJ wasted no time and jumped him. Then the Bar came out to attack AJ for some reason. Excuse me. And then the Club came out to assist AJ. They ran them off. The match never started. They got the better of it.
Did AJ... Now, I'm going to be pissed. Did AJ get on the mic and say, you guys are the best crowd ever?
AJ did get on the microphone. And
what did he say?
He said,
because he told us in Providence we were the best crowd ever.
He said, Let me try to remember correctly. He said, I would say that this crowd is phenomenal, but that doesn't do you guys justice, because you guys were a great crowd tonight. That was about the gist of it.
Okay, good.
There was one point that I was telling you about, because I have the jacket that he used to wear when he was doing his thing with the club, way back when he debuted in 2016 when he was facing John Cena. And he pointed...
Beat up John Cena.
He pointed in my direction, which I pointed to myself. It was like, me? And he nodded like, yes, you. So I put up the 2 sweet, and he put up the 2 sweet, and it was awesome.
Damn. Lucky ass.
I got acknowledged. I didn't see him wrestle an official match, but I got acknowledged.
That's good. That's better than anything.
I also do want to point out, WrestleMania in New York. We must go.
I thought about that, and when I saw tickets, it's not that bad. I don't know yet. We have to see.
But it's like
because we can do it because of tax season being just before WrestleMania.
Yes.
So we shall see.
As a server, we'll definitely see about those taxes. But that's the thing. We need the NXT show. We need the WrestleMania. We need the Raw after and the SmackDown after. Yes, and the NXT after. Apparently. Oh wait, no, there is no NXT after WrestleMania. Yes.
We get that on Saturday.
Wonderful. But I am all for doing that.
Yeah. We have to look into it more to see what prices are.
Tickets normally go around sale around SummerSlam, correct?
Tickets are on sale right now. You can book them right now if you want.
Oh, well. Yeah. You talk about NXT, and I'm going to look at these tickets.
Okay. So NXT happened, per usual.
I actually watched this week.
Yay! It was actually a good show. Heavy Machinery versus TM61 was the opening segment, which we saw TM61 once again cheat to win. The second week in a row that they won. I like that. They're giving them something to do. They're building momentum. Heavy Machinery don't really need momentum because they're two huge dudes who can probably break TM61 if it really came down to an actual fight.
Yes.
But it was a good match. It was only a 9-minute long match, but TM61 did get the edge. They pinned Otis, and he got the pin. It was kind of weird because when they did a 1-2, and as the referee was going down for 3, that's when I think it was Shane that pinned him. I think it was Shane that pinned him, and he put his legs...
No, this week it was Nick. It was Shane the first time they did it.
So Nick pinned him, but as the 3 count was starting to go down, that's when he decided to put his foot on the ropes. Mm-hmm. And I was like, did that really do anything? But TM61 won again. It looks like this is still going to go on for a while between these two teams.
Before they officially go heel.
Right. So the next thing was Bianca Belair. She was featured in this weird family collage thing that she was like, who's Bianca Belair? You want to know what EST or some weird shit like that. And she was like, then next week you're going to know who I am. And I'm like, I thought we already know you're the girl with the long hair who uses it as a weapon. You told us this already.
Oh my god, just the sound of it.
Like literally, but okay. Well, I guess we'll see next week what she has to offer. The second segment was before the actual match was a promo for EC3. Made a bunch of references to NX3. Says he's the top 1% in the industry. Showing off like in front of this huge ass pool, and it was just badass. I mean, it's EC3. It's what you get. I still don't understand why he isn't a heel. I like he's was it tweening?
Yeah, tweening.
100%. Next match was kind of a shocker. It was Kairi Sane versus Lacey Evans. And did you see this one?
Yes, I did.
And how she was going in, I think for her finisher, and then Lacey catches her with just like a punch straight to the jaw.
She calls it the woman's right.
The woman's right?
Yes.
That's so awesome. But pinfall in 5 minutes against Kairi Sane.
I don't like the length of the match, but I do see what they're doing with Lacey going over because now they're 1-1.
Yeah. So they're probably gonna have a one-off on NXT Chicago.
You mean the pre-show? The week after.
Yes, the week after. So Kathy Kelly is outside a Full Sail waiting for Johnny and Candice. It's been known that they are here and they're making a decision together as a team. And that Johnny may not want to do it, but it has to be done. We'll get to more of that as it comes on. We see a recap of the 6-man tag last week between Birch, Lorcan, and Dunn versus Undisputed Era. Pretty much Undisputed Era was on TV and they said that Adam Cole pretty much said, we have so much for us going. All they're going to care about is that one win they got on us. Like, that was their top. And that's all they'll ever accomplish is getting the win over the Undisputed Era. But they said they still have much to do. All that jazz. So, Undisputed Era ended that segment. But there was a tag team title match getting set up with, I keep screwing up the name, Birch and Lorcan. And it's going to be against two members. It's going to probably be against Strong and O'Reilly for the titles.
Yep.
In which I'm 100% positive on this video. Will go over.
Yes, agreed.
So, handicap match happens. Lars Sullivan versus Velveteen
That was a very
Dream
good match.
and Ricochet. I freaking love this match so much because of Velveteen Dream. So good.
Ricochet.
And Ricochet too, but I was Ricochet biting the pinfall because of...
I mean, that's how it had to happen.
Yeah.
I figured Velveteen Dream was going to do something to
Velveteen
cost the
Dream
match.
does that finisher so beautifully, where he just does a cartwheel with Ricochet on his shoulders.
Yep.
And then Sullivan comes in, ends the match up. 10-minute long match.
No, Velveteen Dream was saying, you screwed me. This is what happens when you screwed me.
Oh yeah, yep. As he was sliding away, as he saw Lars Sullivan look at him, and he was like, "Okay, this is my."
I don't
this is my
exactly
time.
know what where the screwing happened.
Because from what Mauro Ranallo was saying, when Velveteen Dream was hitting on Lars Sullivan, he was going up to the turnbuckle, and Ricochet tagged himself in and was gonna and he jumped off the turnbuckle, and that's when Velveteen hit him, and I don't know how he was gonna screw him, but Velveteen thought he was gonna get screwed, and that's what Mauro Ranallo kept saying, that he tagged himself in, and Velveteen didn't like that. I don't know how that's screwing someone. You're trying to win the match. But that was that. And all signs point to Lars Sullivan being the next #1 contender to Aleister Black's title. So, final segment.
The Johnny Gargano segment.
Johnny Gargano. But before that, there was, once again, this is getting really old with Dakota Kai and
Well, it was
Shayna.
announced that next week she's going to have a title match.
I get that, but for the love of God, I'm so sick of Dakota Kai.
She finally said something.
Yeah, that's true.
But I gave WWE the way to book it weeks ago, and they have not listened to me, so this is their fault. This is your fault, WWE.
Yes.
If you had listened to me, you would not have booked such an obsolete mule as the challenger for the women's title in NXT. But no.
Legit.
You have made your own bed, now you must sleep in it!
Alright, so Candice LeRae comes out, followed by Johnny Gargano. Gargano takes his time getting into the ring, stopping to exchange a moment with a few kids at ringside, la-di-da. So he gets in, the crowd's chanting, Johnny wrestling, all that
Of
good
course.
stuff.
Candice wrestling.
So Johnny asks if it's worth it. That was pretty much the whole point of him coming in.
I also love how he said, "Is it worth it?" And everybody started chanting yes. And he said, "Is my health worth it?" And everybody started chanting yes. And he said, "Is my marriage worth it?" And everybody started chanting yes.
Which triggered Gargano to talk to LeRae off mic.
And you could see him saying, "I'm sorry."
Yep, and he keeps repeating that he's sorry. He rips the neck breaks off and says, yes, it's worth it. LeRae is trying to get him to stop. Gargano wants to finish this with Ciampa right now. Says, Ciampa, I know you're back there. Come out. And cue in Ciampa.
Still to no music.
Still to no music. But Ciampa was like, you want to do this right now? I'm going to head into that ring. And if you don't get out of that ring, I'm
At
gonna
this point,
finish
Candice has already booked it from the ring.
Candice ran.
She ran backstage.
Yeah. And so as Ciampa was proceeding towards the ring, in comes in refs.
Because Candice got them.
Right. And so Johnny went outside the ring. Tommaso went in. And Johnny kept trying to go in, and the referees wouldn't allow it. So as he was walking back with Candice, because Candice had convinced him, hey, think about our future here. Mm-hmm. So Johnny was walking back, and then Tommaso was like, that's right, listen to your wife. And Johnny
be a
was
good
like,
boy, Johnny.
Yeah, be a good boy. And Johnny was like, that's it. I've had it. So Johnny runs out to the apron. Tommaso hits him. He falls back on Candice.
And Candice is
laying
out.
out Candice, and Tommaso even looked concerned, and he was like, fuck.
Well, because Tommaso didn't want to hit her last time.
Yeah. So Tommaso walked out very concerned as Johnny Gargano was standing over his wife. And the funny part about this was they brought out two guys to check out Candice, and Johnny was like, "This is all we have? What the hell?"
Because it took him a minute to realize. Like, once it finally set in, he was like, "Oh God, I'm sleeping on the couch." And when it set in, that's when he was like, "Can we get some help? Can we get more help? This is ridiculous."
Yeah. And that was pretty much the show. It was a really good show.
It was a good show.
I missed out on Aleister Black. I kind of wanted to see him where he, like, maybe after Lars Sullivan won.
Well, you will see him live next week when NXT isn't live. They said that. Live on NXT next week.
Oh. So you already know about next week, I'm assuming.
Which exactly next week?
Aleister Black?
Yeah.
So you already know?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know. But, yeah.
Like I said, I know most of the matches from TakeOver Chicago already.
Yeah, it looks like an exciting time, and the cool thing about it too was, actually the stupid thing about it was Triple H had this mindset of having Gargano versus Ciampa in a Last Man Standing for a while, but it wasn't until I want to say just after the Greatest Royal Rumble, they had this plan to put AJ and Shinsuke in a Last Man Standing, and so that screwed up Triple H's plans because I'm pretty sure Triple H, it was even said that he wanted Gargano and Ciampa in a Last Man Standing to be a brutal, brutal match. I think I would prefer that versus AJ and Shinsuke.
Yes.
Because I know what Johnny and Tommaso can do to each other.
See, now, I know which match it's going to be. I'm not going to say it and spoil it. But I've known what the match is going to be for like a month and a half now. Because the recordings. But, so now I'm wondering, like, how far in advance did they plan this Last Man Standing match for
because
AJ and Shinsuke?
That did come out, saying that like they wanted Johnny and Tommaso to go at it with each other.
Yes, Prince Sedane makes his entrance. Yeah.
Second week in a row. But that is WWE for the week.
Yeah, so it was an interesting week minus Monday.
Minus Monday.
Minus Monday.
Minus Monday. It just goes to show you that Vince McMahon's A show is the worst show.
It's rather sad how...
And the show that doesn't get any TV time.
Princess Freya, yes.
Where'd you come up with these names again? I forget.
They are Final Fantasy cats.
Final Fantasy.
But that being the end of the podcast.
Yep.
We also have to announce our next set of 2K18 WWE challenges. Because in this next challenge, as you've seen how it ended last time with Brother Synyster as Eddie Guerrero facing off against Brother Arcades as Roman Reigns, Brother Arcades took the victory. And previously, before that, I had lost and said that I am not allowed to physically challenge Brother Arcades, but I can challenge Brother Sinestro. And I did just that. If I beat Brother Sinestro, his rematch with Brother Arcades becomes a triple threat with me involved, yes. That match will take place, and I vow to delete everyone, yes. Delete! Delete! Delete!
Okay.
Okay, he says. Okay. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, and we will see you next time on the podcast. Yes.
Peace.